Isekai anime are stories where someone leaves the real world for whatever reason and wakes up in a completely different one, full of magic, danger, and new rules. These shows are everywhere. Alright, they're pretty common, and everyone has an opinion about them. Some receive praise, while others face constant criticism online. Today, this list highlights 5 isekais animes that people claim to hate, but somehow can't stop watching. And so here is Overlord. Is an isekai anime that often gets criticized for lacking tension. The protagonist Ain's Ugaon is so overwhelmingly powerful that many battles feel decided before they even begin. Fans of underdog stories argue there's no suspense, little fear of failure, and minimal emotional risk. Some also dislike the brutal tone, saying the series glorifies cruelty and treats other characters as disposable. The slow pacing and heavy focus on real politics instead of constant action are other common complaints, yet viewers can't stop watching. Overlord offers something rare in isekai, a true villain perspective. Ain is not a typical hero. He embraces moral complexity and reshapes the world without limits. Watching how an unstoppable character affects kingdoms, races, and everyday people is strangely compelling. The imbalance of power becomes a highlight of the story rather than a flaw. This keeps viewers hooked on each episode, for real. The series follows Satoru, an ordinary office worker who stays logged into a virtual reality game after the server shut down. Trapped as his game character, the undead sorcerer Izungal, he doesn't seek to go home. Instead, he accepts his new life and begins to expand his influence, commanding loyal allies and decisively defeating enemies with strategic cruelty. What makes Overlord hard to put down is its unpredictability. Every decision Ain makes is cold, calculated, and often ruthless. Allies remain loyal, enemies rarely survive, and moral lines are constantly blurred, for real. Even those who complain about the lack of tension find themselves watching just to see how far the story will go. Those are facts right there, man. So far, Overlord, as of this video, Overlord has 4 seasons, totaling 52 episodes. It began in 2015, and the 4th season premiered in summer 2022. So that's the first isekai. Wow, we didn't even get to the part with the thumbnail here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, this is a whole long scene right here. But here's the thumbnail, guys. Boom, there he is. Our favorite demon little elf. Alright, so the next anime is The Rising of the Shield Hero. Let's see if I can get this going. The Rising of the Shield Hero is an isekai anime that many people claim to dislike. Yeah, for real. Yet they continue watching. Most criticism focuses on how dark and uncomfortable the early story is. The false accusation arc makes many viewers feel uneasy or frustrated, and some argue that the series relies too heavily on betrayal and suffering to drive the plot forward. Others feel the pacing slows in later arcs, making certain parts feel uneven or less impactful. Despite these issues, the show audience remains highly engaged rather than abandoning it. The plot follows not only an ordinary university student who's suddenly summoned to a fantasy world as one of the 4 legendary heroes, while the other heroes receive strong offensive weapons like a sword, spear, and bow. Nafomi is given only a shield. What is this? What is this? Is this the OP? Yeah, let me skip that. So like I was saying, Nafomi is given only a shield, which makes him seem weak and undervalued from the start. Shortly after arriving, he faces a false accusation of a crime that ruins his reputation and leaves him isolated and without support. This harsh beginning is what many critics complain about, but it also draws viewers in emotionally. Now that is facts right there, man. Holy. Shield Hero has a hook that keeps people watching. Okay. Seeing a protagonist start at literally rock bottom and gradually rise through perseverance, strategy, and emotional growth is deeply satisfying. Naofumi doesn't become powerful through flashy superpowers alone. He earns every bit of strength, builds trust with loyal allies like Raphtalia and Philo, and learns to strategize using his unique shield-based combat style, which gives battles a fresh twist compared to typical weapon-focused heroes. The shield mechanics force fights to emphasize defense, tactics, and teamwork over brute force, which makes the combat scene feel distinct and engaging. It keeps many fans equally glued to the series. It's not just revenge or action, but transformation. Naofumi's emotional growth, gradual trust in companions, and eventual rise from outcast to respected hero deliver an emotional payoff that many viewers, even critics, find hard to walk away from. No, for real, I just commitment right there. So as of now, the Rising of the Shield Hero currently has 4 seasons with a total of 62 episodes. Season 1 aired in 2019 with 25 episodes. Season 2 aired in 2022 with 13 episodes. Season 3 aired in 2023 with 12 episodes. And Season 4 aired in July 9 with 12 episodes. The anime is ongoing, and Season 5 has already been officially announced. So that's one of the animes. The next one is going to be Sword Art Online. Alright, you guys still with me? So Sword Art Online is one of the most criticized isekai in all of anime, arguably. Like, holy, this really goes back a lot. Yet remains one of the most watched, discussed, and rewatched series in the genre. It's almost a meme at this point, for real. People loudly claim they dislike it, list all its flaws, and mock every trope it uses, and then still binge every season up. For real. Much of the hate comes from how hugely popular it became. When anime reaches legendary status, expectations skyrocket, and every flaw feels 10 times worse than it actually is in critics' eyes. Complaints often focus on rushed storytelling, uneven character development, and how Kirito sometimes feels too perfect or overpowered. Others dislike how side characters can feel like they exist only to support Kirito, or that the romance occasionally overshadows the survival aspect. Despite all this, people keep watching because Sword Art Online does one thing unbelievably well. So here we go, guys. It does unbelievably well. It hooks curiosity. The central concept of virtual reality MMORPGs, where death is the game means death in real life, is terrifying and addictive. That level of stakes immediately pulls people in, and even viewers who criticize the writing want to see what happens next. For the early Ankrat arc especially is hard to drop. Yeah. Because every floor cleared feels like real progress towards freedom, and that sense of forward motion keeps fans invested even when they grumble about the flaws. Yeah, for real. Let's see if I can get some action here. Another reason viewers stick with its emotional attachments, Sword Art Online hits some powerful emotional beats. Friendship form quickly, losses feel sudden and real, and moments of relief, like finally clearing a difficult boss floor, feel earned. Most fans who claim they dislike the anime still remember specific scenes that hit them hard or made them feel something real. Nostalgia also plays a huge role. For many, Sword Art Online was their first isekai or first big anime, so dropping it feels like leaving behind something familiar and informative. Yeah, now for real. Okay, so the story follows Kirito, a quiet but skilled player trapped in Sword Art Online. When the game launches, players soon learn they cannot log out, and the creator reveals that dying in the game will kill their real bodies as well. To escape, they must clear 100 floors of Ankrat, a colossal castle filled with danger. Kirito chooses to fight mostly alone at first, a choice some view as cold, but it's rooted in guilt and fear of losing others again. Over time, he forms deep bonds, especially with Asuna, whose relationship with him becomes one of the series' most memorable emotional pillars. What keeps people watching is not perfection, but momentum. Sword Art Online constantly introduces new roles, systems, and emotional conflicts. From Ankred to Gun Gale Online, I still need to watch that to be honest, to the massive Alicization saga. That was peak, which keeps viewers wondering what's next. Now for real, man, what is next, man? This real trendy anime here. So as of now, it has a total of 100 main series episodes across 3 seasons. The first season has 25, the second 24, and the third 47 episodes. Damn. Man, that is huge. A lot of episodes there. You guys got some catching up to do. All right. So the next anime here is going to be Sonny Boy. Sonny Boy, is one of those anime that many people dislike. And yet it quietly stays in a playlist of viewers long after the season ends. On the surface, it doesn't look like a typical crowd-pleasing show. There are no flashy battles, no overpowered heroes, and no clear plot. Yeah, plot goals. Big time. Instead, it's a psychological sci-fi survival story about a group of 36 middle school students who are suddenly transported along with their entire school building into a mysterious alternate dimension. There, some students begin developing supernatural powers, and the group must figure out how to survive, form rules, and ultimately find a way home. If there is a way home at all. Alright, man. What are we watching here? Alright, we gotta fast forward here. I don't know what's on the video screen here. Hold on, guys. So the reason Sonny Boy, what is this? This is like one of the scenes. The reason Sonny Boy gets criticism is simple. It's not straightforward, as you can see here. Some viewers expect a clear objective, defined lore, and a conventional narrative structure. Instead, Sonny Boy thrives on ambiguity, abstraction, and atmosphere. Episodes don't always build towards big climaxes or definitive answers. Many scenes feel more like emotional or philosophical sketches than traditional plot beats. Because of that, casual viewers sometimes label it boring, confusing, or straight up pretentious. Yet, ironically, those same qualities are why many people can't stop watching. What keeps people invested even when they complain is how Sonny Boy treats his themes and characters. This isn't just about escaping a strange world, it's about how individuals react to isolation, power, identity, and belonging. Each student develops differently, both emotionally and in their abilities, and the show explores social conflict, leadership struggles, and personal growth in ways that feel deeply human and sometimes just unsettling. The unpredictable shifts between roles and the open-ended nature of many scenes pull viewers into thinking about what they're watching rather than just passively consuming. No, that's 100% genius right there. 100% genius. All right, let's see. So, another reason people keep watching is a distinctive artistic style. Animated by Mad Mouse and directed by Shingo Natsumi, Sonny Boy uses surreal visuals, stark color contrast, and fluid, impressive character movements to create an atmospheric unlike most anime. The powers don't always dazzle with flashy effects. Instead, they often feel mysterious or symbolic, adding to the dreamlike quality of the show. The music and voice acting further deepen emotional resonance, giving subtle weight to moments of loneliness, conflict, or quiet reflection. Alright, so many fans have said that Sonny Boy stays with them long after the final episode because it feels like a puzzle with emotional pieces, not just a plot to follow. Rather than neatly tying everything up, it leaves questions open and encourages viewers to interpret its themes for themselves. That's exactly why people who claim they don't like it often find themselves thinking about it days later, discussing theories or rewatching favorite episodes. So as of now, the episode Sonny Boy has one season with 12 episodes, originally airing from July 16 to October. It's a complete story with an ambiguous artistic ending that fits its contemplative tone. Yeah, it's really one of those animes that I highly believe everyone should give a shot. Let me see if I can Yeah, so this is the Isekai right here. Just wanted to show more clips. Yeah, this is like really out there. All right, let's get to our last anime here. Here's anime number what? This is what, number 5? This is gonna be a big one, guys. This is gonna be a big one. Okay, boom. This is one. The time I got reincarnated as a slime. This is one of those isekai anime that lots of people love to pretend they hate. Holy. Alright. Calling it too easy, low stakes, or predictable. Many critics claim the protagonist becomes overpowered too quickly. Yeah, no, that's true. Which supposedly removes tension from fights and makes enemies feel less threatening. Incredibly true with the power leveling. The story's focuses on diplomacy, nation building, and political growth rather than constant action. Another common complaint. There's another common complaint. Some even say the pacing and plot can feel repetitive at times, with similar patterns of problem equal solution that lessen excitement for those seeking darker drama. Yeah, for real. Yet despite all this, Slime quietly remains one of the most satisfying and secretly binge-worthy isekai series for many viewers. What keeps people watching, even if they loudly criticize it, is how comforting and rewarding it feels to see problems solved efficiently and thoughtfully. Holy shit, where am I? Instead of through endless suffering. Yeah, instead of endless suffering, for real. The story emphasis on steady growth, clever planning, and visible progress creates a unique pleasure. Watching a world gradually become more stable and prosperous under Rimuru's leadership was oddly addictive, and many fans enjoy the relaxed yet purposeful pace, almost like a fantasy slice of life. Another big reason people stay engaged is the rich world building. Slime introduces a variety of races, nations, and power systems in clear, compelling ways, and every alliance or character addition feels meaningful rather than random. Even if the stakes don't always feel deadly, the scale of Rimuru's influence keeps expanding, and new conflicts push the story in fresh directions that keep viewers curious about what comes next. The story follows Satoru Mikami, an ordinary corporate worker who is killed and reincarnated in a fantasy world as a slime with the ability to absorb enemies and copy their abilities. He names himself Rimuru Tempest and decides to build a peaceful nation where humans and monsters can coexist. Using diplomacy, strategy, and his unique skill to transform the world around him. Rimuru's calm, logical personality is a major reason even critics keep watching. Excuse me. He doesn't rule with anger or brute force. He leads with reason and kindness, which makes every victory feel earned and satisfying. Even fans who complain about a lack of tension admit they return for its comfort, charm, and the steady sense of achievement that comes from seeing Rimuru's world grow and flourish. Yeah, no, for real. He's come a long ways. Okay, so just some quick information here to wrap things up. Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime currently has 3 full seasons, each with 24 episodes, totaling 72 episodes so far. Season 1 aired in 2018, Season 2 in 2021, Season 3 in September 2024, and the 4th season has been officially announced and expected around 2026, along with a new movie titled Tears of the Zero Sea. And that sounds cool. Alright, guys. Whew. That was a lot to absorb, but those were the 5 animes. That's it for today's videos. I feel like that was a good amount of information. Stay tuned until next time, or just watch another video.